Hi, my name is Lindsay King, and today I'm going to be talking about the roles of special education and general education teachers, as well as the effects of personal biases on students and current dispositions I hold to assist me as a teacher in special education. So, the role of a general education teacher is to support their learners and implement curriculum that is engaging and accessible to all. So, even if a general education teacher has students with diverse needs or learning disabilities, it is their job, it is their role to ensure that those students still have access to learning instruction that meets them where they're at. Whether it's differentiated learning instruction, different learning modalities that are incorporated, or what have you. It's also important that they maintain expectations for their students to ensure that they are meeting goals in learning and growing in all areas, and to ensure that they are accommodating the students in their classroom. Furthermore, it is the job to collaborate with others in the school, whether it's specialists, special education teachers, or other teachers within their grade level or different grade levels. Teamwork and collaboration can make a world of difference, especially in today's age where a general education classroom looks much different than it used to. It's also important for them to participate in IEP meetings, whether it's their own student that has an IEP or they're attending a different student's IEP, to communicate with families and to manage their classroom, manage the materials and resources within their classroom, and ensure that they're being used appropriately. And as far as a special education teacher, I believe that the biggest role that they play is ensuring that they are providing meaningful education to their students. Students in special education are there because the general education curriculum and classroom environment does not fit their needs, does not fit their needs in order to learn and develop and grow as learners. So that's why they're placed in these special education settings. Furthermore, special educators are responsible for writing IEPs, for facilitating meetings, for collaborating with specialists, and ensuring that those specialists are giving the kids their at least the minimum amount of minutes required to meet their IEP goals. It's also important that special education teachers are working to take and collect data to have proof to show that their students are making progress towards their goals and that they are showing signs of developing in their academics, their social emotional skills, or their life skills. One of the major components of special education is ensuring that accommodations and modifications are being provided to students. Students in a special education setting, like I mentioned previously, are in there because they have different ways of learning, they have learning disabilities or just disabilities that inhibit their ability to learn in a normal, in a general education classroom setting. And so it's important that teachers are creating engaging and exciting methods of learning so that their students are also learning, and also that there's a fostering of a love for learning happening. One of my dispositions that I currently possess as a special education teacher is empathy and compassion. I cannot imagine being a student who is aware that they are in a different classroom, who is aware that they are in there for a reason, who are aware of why they're in there, and not feeling like their teacher or the paraprofessionals within that classroom were on their side, were on their team, and that they didn't feel supported, that they didn't feel like they could come to the teacher for help. I just can't imagine that. I can't imagine any student feeling that way in their first few years of school. So I have been really cognizant of showing my students that I care and that I love them and that I want to be there to support them and that I want to help them. I also think that another key component that I've displayed is grit and perseverance. This year, as a first year special education teacher, it has been a lot of failing forward. I am learning how to write IEPs, learning how to manage all of my paraprofessionals, learning how to facilitate meetings, all the components of those meetings I need, the paperwork, the legalities, all of those things. It's been a lot and it's been stressful. It's been overwhelming, but I'm still going. I'm still working through it. I'm still wanting to be there. I'm still wanting to learn. So I think that is something that is really going to help me in my journey as a special education teacher. And lastly, one of the effects of personal biases on teaching ultimately impact, whether it's conscious or unconscious, it can significantly influence a teacher and the way that they treat their students. If someone has an unconscious bias or a conscious bias, and they are taking into consideration things that really have nothing to do with that student and nothing to do with their ability to learn, it can impact the expectations you have on a student or limit the expectations you have on a student. If you for example, if a teacher unintentionally expects less from a specific student based on their culture or their socioeconomic background, that is inhibiting their learning and their ability to have access to the same education and the same instruction as all the other kids. So to counter this, I think that it's really important that teachers are constantly self-reflecting and seeking professional developments to foster inclusion, to keep learning how to incorporate inclusion into their classrooms, and just to continue to build empathy and curiosity and respect to ensure that all their students are having access to engaging and meaningful education. Thank you for listening.